Why should I apologize for the monster I've become? Think about that for a second. When someone calls you a monster, what they really mean is, you've changed. And I don't like it, but here's the thing they never ask. Why did you change? No one wakes up and decides, today, I'll stop being kind or patient. Life pushes us. People push us. And slowly we adapt. We grow harder. We build walls to protect ourselves. So let me ask you this, should you feel sorry for surviving? Let's get something clear, monsters aren't born, they're made. It starts with pain. It could be betrayal, rejection, or being taken for granted. At first you brush it off. You tell yourself, I'll let it go, but it keeps happening. Again and again. And every time a part of you hardens. People think monsters are villains, evil by nature. But most so-called monsters were just people trying to survive. They were pushed too far, for too long, until they stopped caring about how they were seen. Do you remember the first time you put up a wall? Maybe someone hurt you, and you thought, never again. That wasn't you becoming cold. That was you protecting yourself. But here's the truth, monsters aren't the problem. The problem is the people and situations that created them. When people call you a monster, it's usually because they don't like the way you've started standing up for yourself. Maybe you've stopped saying yes to everything. Maybe you've started setting boundaries. Maybe you've decided to put yourself first for once. And guess what? That makes some people uncomfortable. But survival doesn't look pretty. It's messy. It's raw. It's unapologetic. Because when you've been hurt enough, you stop worrying about being polite, and you start worrying about protecting yourself. Here's what people don't understand. Monsters aren't born out of choice. They're born out of necessity. You didn't want to close off your heart or stop trusting people. But every time you tried to stay soft, the world showed you why you couldn't be. And now you're called a monster for being exactly what life taught you to be. But let's be real, there's a cost to all of this. Because even though the walls protect you, they also isolate you. You lose parts of yourself along the way. That kind, open-hearted version of you. It feels like a memory, doesn't it? And sometimes you miss them. You start to wonder, is this who I am now? Is this all I'll ever be? You start to believe the words of those who call you a monster. But let me tell you something important. The monster isn't all you are. It's a shield, not your identity. It's something you built to survive, not something that defines you forever. The real strength is knowing when to hold on to that shield and when to let it go. Not for anyone else, but for yourself. So no, I won't apologize for the monster I've become, and neither should you. Because what people don't realize is that the monster they see isn't a villain, it's a survivor. It's someone who has been through hell and is still standing. And if that makes me a monster, so be it. I'm not here to make people comfortable with the way I've changed. I'm here to protect the person I've become. Let me say it again, you don't owe anyone an apology for surviving. Not for your anger, not for your walls, not for the way you've had to rebuild yourself from the ground up. The people who created the monster in you, they're the ones who should be apologizing. Here's what I want you to take away. You're not a monster. You're a survivor. And survival isn't something to be ashamed of, it's something to be proud of. You've been through things that would break most people, and you're still here. That's strength. That's power. So the next time someone tries to make you feel guilty for who you've become, don't apologize. Instead, look them in the eye and say, yes, I've changed. And I'm not sorry. Because the only person who gets to define your story is you. Thank you for listening. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more content like this. Take care of yourself, and never, ever let anyone make you feel small for surviving.